Hi, my name is Tom, and today I want to talk about filtration again. Finally! So today it's about a really cheap solution on giving your footage a really dreamlike, trippy, beautiful feel that is really easy to achieve with just a piece of fabric. So here's some footage, enjoy that, and after that I'm gonna give you my thoughts. So what do you need? You just need to go to any store that sells stockings or pantyhose and yeah, just grab the thinnest, most see-through like material and put that on your lens. And yeah, that's basically it. There are obviously a lot of variations you can get in the store, so make sure you get the thin ones, the very see-through ones that let in a lot of light, because if you buy one that's too thick and you put that on your lens, you're basically not going to see anything. So just make sure you get the thin ones where on the packaging you can see how thick they are and how they will basically look on the skin. If you can see the skin, then you will also be able to see with it through your lens and get a nice effect. Here's the one that worked for me. Honestly, I have no idea what brand it is or what it's called. My girlfriend just had this one laying around. And yeah, it would have gone into the trash anyway, so I tried this one out. It's very thin, as I said, and it's also black, which is also an important detail. I also tried one of the beige skin colored ones, and those don't really work for me because they mess too much with the color. So just get the black ones. These are more neutral for your image and yeah, look the best in my opinion. Just as a quick tutorial, here's how I put them on my lens. You can either put the whole stocking on your lens, but to me a more elegant solution is just cutting up a piece of it that's big enough, then wrap that around your lens and just secure it with a rubber band. That way it won't fall off and also keeps like a nice tight grip, so nothing changes while you shoot. That's also can also present itself as a problem if the stocking just moves a bit or just isn't as tight as it can get. Then the fabric will be less see-through, and obviously you need as much light as you can going through that fabric so you can like see something. So this is in my opinion your best solution. This will keep a tight grip, keep the holes, the individual holes from the stockings nice and white, and nothing is gonna block your lens. Now what about the image? To me these remind me a lot of my soft effects filters, which I made a video about years and years ago, and let me tell you, those were a lot more expensive. The image gets very soft but also kind of hazy, which I didn't expect. You also get these nice but not too intrusive star patterns from reflections and lights, which look very interesting as well. It's definitely a great cheap alternative that should be easily available everywhere and even for free if you have a woman in your life. So there's always stuff like that around. And yeah, I can already see myself using this for lots of different scenarios, like for a dream sequence or like a vintage fashion shoot or a dreamy music video. I can see myself using this stuff on lots of different projects. And yeah, it's just great to think about what you can do with like cheap stuff like this. And it also rivals filters that are several $100s, and it's just a great backup solution maybe when you want to do something trippy where you don't have the right filter at hand. You can just go to the nearest store and grab something like this and yeah, create something beautiful. And yeah, it's just so much fun to experiment with stuff like this, because this stuff cost me nothing and there are a billion types of variations for stockings and pantyhoses and stuff like that you can all try out, and they will all basically give you a different look. I can imagine like the fish netting on some of the stockings will also give me a completely different type of look, but with even more sharpness. So there's even variations with that, and it's just so inspiring to see that stuff like this, like a cheap piece of fabric, can mimic a filter that can cost like several $100s. And that's like the inspiring thing about this stuff, and that's why I love it so much. So what's not to like about this stuff? The first thing, usually I don't really have to crank up the ISO as much as I do for this video, because I'm obviously filming myself right now with the pantyhose setup, and yeah, it looks great, but I had to like turn up the ISO a lot, because you obviously, with a black stocking, which in my opinion looks the best, the black fabric, it takes a lot of light away. So that's the first thing you have to keep in mind. You need a lot of light. If you film on a day, it's no problem for all cameras basically, but for night scenes and for stuff like this, you basically need a light so you can have the stuff that you want to film in focus and without a lot of noise. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind. It will take a lot of light away. Another thing, I mean, you saw the tutorial I did on how to put this on your lens. It's not really a professional way to use your gear, and yeah, it can look weird to clients and stuff like that. I'm sure there's a way to, I mean, there's definitely an easy way to put the stuff on like an adapter ring or stuff like that, so you can just use it as a filter, as a normal filter. But yeah, for now, this is my solution, and it's a bit finicky and it's not easy to put on your camera alone. So yeah, I might have to think about a different solution, which is probably not something that's hard to solve, but just keep that in mind. It's a bit finicky, it's not made for filmmaking, so putting that stuff on, using it in the field and outside, yeah, it can get a bit annoying. Another thing that sucks a little bit about using this stuff is that you can see the netting in the bokeh, and especially on different focal lengths, when you zoom in a lot, you can see a lot of this netting in the background, which can get a bit annoying and won't really look that nice. And yeah, that's also something you have to keep in mind. Another thing you obviously have to keep in mind is focusing is not going to be easy. As I said, it's not like the strongest type of filtration that I ever used, but it's definitely up there. And yeah, out of focus, I wouldn't really trust it. And yeah, even my own focusing, I hope it worked, but yeah, the image is going to be soft anyways, and yeah, it's not going to be easy to judge your focus this way. So in conclusion, this was just a fun experiment for me. I know this is not new stuff. I know this idea and this type of stuff has been around for decades and been used even on Hollywood productions. Like I think Steven Spielberg used a lot of like stocking types filters, like obviously a bit more professional and not just put on with a piece of rubber. But yeah, this stuff has been done a lot, and I personally haven't tried it, so I just wanted to share my thoughts and my like footage that I tried with just this piece of fabric that I found like in my home for $0. And yeah, this type of stuff just excites me and it's just fun to do. So if you enjoyed the video, like it, leave a comment, leave a comment about what type of stuff can I try next, and what have you tried personally that's like not obvious and yeah, can give you still a really cool image. And yeah, also subscribe, and yeah, see you in the next video. Bye 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 bye. I am done.